Are we set?
Good morning to you both. Stand by, live on green.
Here we go. Miss Blyton, you must be one of the most prolific authors of all time.
Yes, I probably am.
Although there have been subterranean rumblings regarding
the idea that I don't write my own books. I'd like to make it clear, here and now, that those rumors have absolutely no foundation in truth.
Of course. I never suggested for a moment that you're...
It is very important that I make it clear, for the sake of all my young readers out there. They trust me implicitly. Whether they're in palaces or tenements, they take from my books a feeling of security, a sense of being anchored, and a sure knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I am the guardian of our children's morals. But how can I uphold this position if there is the merest hint that I am not all that I seem?
Excuse me.
This is the third cold you've had this month. If you haven't got rid of it by the end of the week, I'm going to have to give you your cards. Fit by Friday, or you're sacked.
Madam?
Any response to the accusation, Miss Blyton?
Are you? What about the accusation? You don't actually write the books yourself.
You should read these books. Why on earth do you find all this time to write these books?
Miss Blyton, shall we get the inside? I'm sorry about all this, Miss Blyton. The children are waiting, though. They're all very excited to see you.
Coach.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Quieten down now, please, children.
Hello, everyone. How are you? You look marvellous. You look all so smart. Now, look what I brought here. Now, today, I'm going to read to you from my book, The Secret Island. But first of all, is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Me, miss.
Oh,
me,
goodness.
Me, miss, me.
Let me see. Where shall I start? Do you know, children, I happen to think that childhood is a magical time.
Hey, Hanley,
Yes?
come here.
Gotcha!
What's that?
Hey!
Whoa.
Gary, come here. And Enid. What's this one?
Sycamore.
Good. What about this beauty, eh?
Beach.
Look at that. Look. Hey, isn't that beautiful?
Thomas, these boys are hungry. They need their lunch and they're cold. Does that bother you at all, or don't you care? Come on, boys. Come on.
Enid. Enid, I'll tell you a story. The children and Snapper the dog were enjoying their holiday at the seaside. Snapper was the sweetest, loyalest dog in the world. Snapper would never let them down. But he was always getting into trouble. Mother had prepared them a lovely picnic with all the things the children loved best. But the children hadn't noticed that Snapper had run off without them.
Wake up, boys. I've got something to tell you. Your father's left.
Left what?
He's left us.
No!
Your father has found another woman, Enid. Enid, come here! Enid! Enid, listen to me! Enid!
She pulled back the curtains and looked down over the cliffs. There was the secret path, the one that no one else knew, and the way down to the rocky cove with its hidden tunnel. There she could escape.
Enid? You'll be back.
I won't.
What am I supposed to say to people?
Tell them the truth. I'm training to be a teacher, not joining a circus.
It's not right. You should
Stay at home and darn socks. I know. You've told me.
What about your brothers?
Dear sirs, I'm sending you my book of poems and short stories for your kind attention. Though I'm training to be a teacher, my real ambition is to become an author. And I do hope you will find potential in my work. Yours faithfully, Enid Blyton.
Dear Miss Blyton, although we did enjoy your writing, it is not going to be most entertaining.
But unfortunately have no room on our current list. I do have
Discussed at our editorial meeting last week. However, we regret to inform you that we can find no place.
Though we were by your writings, they do not have a place in our current list. My advice to all young writers is to keep trying. Yours.
When I'm grown up, I won't forget the things I think today. I won't forget the sort of things I like to do and say. I won't be like the folk I know who seem so very old and quite forget the things they did when they were 8 years old. There's lots of other things, of course, that I'll remember too. And then, when I'm grown up, I'll know what children like to do. I'll know the things they're frightened of. I'll know the things they hate. And oh, I hope they'll love me, though they'll know I'm long past 8.
Dear Miss Blyton, thank you for sending us your manuscript of poems and stories. Would you be so kind as to call our office to make an appointment so that we could discuss your work further? Yours sincerely, Hugh Pollock.
So, Miss Blyton, suffice to say, we can do something with your stories. Most definitely we can.
Shall we talk about it over lunch?
Absolutely. First of all, let's get you signed up, shall we? Autograph. Where I put the cross here.
Congratulations, Mrs. Pollock. You are no longer Right.
No looking whatsoever. Do you understand? Don't look. Don't look.
Heavy.
Open it then.
But be quiet.
That one. You're not. That one. Not that one.
What's wrong with that one?
No.
I like it.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't. I really.
Right. I love you. It's my book.
Put it down right now.
I'm going to have 2 children.
2.
At the very least.
Well, how can I explain this? Your uterus, to put it frankly, is that of a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
What?
It seems not to have developed properly.
Goodness. Does that mean...
Not at all. Although it does explain why you've been having difficulties in that area. No, we shall give you a course of hormone injections which should sort you out. By the way, I wonder if I could ask you to sign this for my granddaughter.
Of course. I'd be delighted.
She's Enid Blyton mad.
What are my chances, incidentally, of conceiving?
About 50-50. Possibly a little better.
I'm a very determined woman, Dr. Beresford. If I want a baby, I'm jolly well going to have one. Dear children, I have such news. Can you guess what it is? Well, I'll tell you. A new pet has arrived in our family. It's a dear little sister for Gillian, and a new friend for Bob's the dog. She's such a sweet little thing. So good-natured. Hardly ever cries.
Hello, racket. What's the matter with her?
No idea, Buns. Gillian was exactly the same. What is one supposed to do? I'm trying to write my column for Teacher's World.
Couldn't you have a few days off?
I have a deadline to meet. Never missed a deadline in my life, and I'm not about to start now.
Maybe we should pick her up. What do you think?
Don't want you to spoil her, Hugh. She's got to learn. On the other hand, we'll stop this racket. Come on. This cannot go on. She's very darling, but loves the sound of her own voice, as you can hear.
Did your elder daughter have a nurse?
Oh, yes, from day one. Otherwise, I'd never have got any work done. I must say, I do find them terribly trying when they're tiny. I imagined I'd be rather better at it, frankly, but don't seem to know what to do with them.
Well, don't worry. Most women feel they're failing somehow. They imagine everyone else is coping terribly well. Of course they're not.
Well, that's a relief. Come and meet her. You see? It's absolutely frightful, isn't it, Bob? Oh, my God. How did you do that?
Well, I'm a midwife. That helps, but really it's just confidence. That's all. She's a very beautiful little girl.
I suppose she is rather nice, isn't she? But so naughty.
She's only a week old.
And willful already, as you can see.
A 1 week old child has no concept.
Now, I'm a great believer in lots of bracing fresh air. When she's not out in her pram, she will be here, in the nursery. Between the hours of 4 and 5, the children spend an hour with me, unless, of course, I'm up in London. How does that sound to you?
That all sounds very clear.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
And please, call me Dorothy.
I will. And you must call me Enid.
Fan mail.
Oh, lovely. Lots.
Shall we go through the new book?
Oh, that's such a waste of time. You don't have to proofread everything I write. Such a darling.
Care to share the joke?
It's, Oh, never mind. You wouldn't understand. That is the sound of a contented baby. Isn't it bliss? God, I wish Dorothy was staying with us forever.
Who's Dorothy?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Hugh, you know who she is. The nurse.
Oh, it's Dorothy now, is it? It's very cozy.
Don't be silly, Buns. She's my new friend.
I thought I was your friend.
You still are. Silly. Now, we're going to check proofs in a minute.
Who's we?
Dorothy. She's helping me proofread The Adventures of Bobs.
I see. So she's a trained nurse and a qualified...
Oh, stop fussing, Hugh. Look, it's the light outside. How about a game of French cricket?
No, thanks.
Come on. Otherwise, I'm going to put you in a story. Horrid Hugh, who hated fun. Come on. Out you come. I'll beat you. Nearly. Not good enough. Cheer up. Not allowed to move closer. You've got to do it from where you picked it up. Come on here.
Whee! Yes, hooray! 6 to me! 6 to me! I win!
Go on, Hugh. Cheer up. The chair rose up in the air, flapping its wings strongly, and made for the door. Out it went, and rose high into the air at once. The children hung on tightly in the greatest delight. Thank goodness, everything was all right again. Good old wishing chair. What would they do without it?
He's had a good innings, Enid.
I thought the vet said he'd be fine.
No, he didn't, sweetheart. He said,
Bobs is in such a playful mood today. I don't know what's got into him. Do you know, he's already hidden one of my slippers, stolen a sausage from the kitchen, right under Cook's nose, and chewed a hairbrush to shreds. And then he ran around the house like a puppy and dropped it at my feet as if it were a present. It's not even lunchtime. He's such a mischievous little chap.
Drinks, anyone?
I've got one. Thanks, you. Try it. I want to see it again. Yeah, I should buy it.
Gillian, don't. Come on, let's just do another one then. Come on. Smile, that's good. All right.
Oh, Enid, here he is.
Hugh, for goodness sake, where have you been?
Sorry I'm not permanently available, Enid. I do have to go to work from time to time.
Oh, well, hurry up.
Nearly ready.
Stand here, next to me. Come closer. No, closer, darling. All right. Girls, now, maybe this time, yes, look at the book. Look at what I'm writing, as if, as if I'm reading it to you. All right.
Ready? Big smile.
And Hugh, try and smile, please. Is that all right?
Come on then, faster.
My poor father. He would have loved to have seen the girls growing up.
When did your mother die?
Not long after I left home. She would have wanted them to be good little housewives. That's what she wanted me to be. My father, he was different. He expected things. He was brilliant. He was funny. Utterly reliable. Perfect, really. Perfect.
for heaven's sake.
It's been quite difficult lately. Thinks there's going to be another war on. Nonsense, I tell him.
Well, he's working on a book with Mr. Churchill. Isn't he? He's bound to be in the know about these things.
Yes, but he's so gloomy.
It's hard for men of his generation, Enid. They haven't really recovered from the last war. Their nerves are still shot to pieces.
Yes, but he was so dashing when I met him. He was so strong. Just such a stalwart. And such fun.
Probably putting on a brave face, don't you think?
Girls, not fair.
Nanny, can you take the girls inside at once? That noise is quite intolerable. Come on. Tea, more tea.
What do you mean your father was perfect? In what way was he perfect? He left you, Enid.
Yes, my father is dead, Hugh.
Perfect, irreproachable, godlike father walked out on you without so much as a backward glance. You told me so yourself, in an admittedly rare moment of frankness. I mean, I know you're not overly keen on the truth. I know you prefer bunnies and picnics and talking bloody gollywogs.
You're drunk.
I'm so sorry.
Let me just remind you where all this comes from.
Let me remind you that I do make a not inconsiderable contribution myself, Enid. I realize that your idea of success is directly related to the amount of fan mail you get, but some of us go to the office every day.
Yes, but my books pay for all this.
But who commissioned your books, woman?
Oh, your contribution was incidental, Hugh. And if you really think it had any more than a glancing effect on my success, you must be out of your mind.
Enid.
And my father was twice the man you'll ever be. Don't you forget that.
Enid Blyton, Green Hedges. Miss Enid Blyton. Yeah, Miss Blyton. Enid Blyton, Green Hedges, Beaconsfield. My name is Annabelle. I'm writing to tell you how brilliant I think
Matthew
your books
and
are.
I have been having adventures, just like the ones
Destroying us with me in my garden, where I have made a den called Pixie's Hollow. I keep hoping I'll see some pixies, but I haven't.
I love your books so much, especially Hurrah for the Circus. I wish you were my mother, and we could have so much fun. Love from Edward.
Dear Edward, I know that were you my son, we would have such fun.
These are today's main events. Germany has invaded Poland and has bombed many towns. General mobilization has been ordered in Britain and France. Parliament was summoned for 6 o'clock this evening. Orders completing the mobilization of the Navy, Army, and Air Force were signed by the King at a meeting this afternoon of the Privy Council. Details will be given later in this news.
Oh, girls, this afternoon there's some children coming for a tea party. They won a competition to launch my famous 5. Anyway, this is work, so will you run along up to the nursery and not to peep, all right? Jolly good. Hello, my dears. My name is Enid Blyton. Do come in. Welcome to my famous 5 tea party. You must be starving. Come in. Have you got real milk bottle tops? Marvellous.
Who are those 2 children on the stairs, miss?
Those are my girls.
Aren't they invited to the party, Miss Blyton?
Oh, no. No. See me all day, every day. Bored to tears with their silly old mummy. Yeah. You know, I have to squeeze my writing in between trips to the seaside and picnics and games and, you know, all the things that children love to do. Don't you just love raspberry jelly? Love the way it wobbles in your mouth. Now, did you remember to bring your milk bottle tops for the poor children at Great Ormond Street?
Yeah!
Goodness, you have worked hard. Do you know, last year, I made more money than the Chancellor of the Exchequer. I had 23 books published.
Good for you. How was the tea party?
Marvellous. Where have you been, incidentally?
I went to the pub. Not a crime, is it?
No. No, of course not. No, the party was a huge success. We ate every scrap of jelly.
We're about to go to war, Enid.
Do stop going on about it, Hugh. It's so depressing.
Reality often is.
Really. I'd have thought you were too pickled to notice.
Oh, forgive me. Perhaps we should stick to raspberry jelly. Lashings of ginger beer like you and your little fans.
They're not my fans. They're my friends.
They are children, for God's sake.
Boring, Hugh, and you're drunk.
We are about to go to war. Does that bother you remotely? Hell no. Let's just stick with the famous 5, shall we?
If you're going to be quite so unpleasant, I'd rather you slept in the spare room, Hugh.
Fine, I'll do that.
Miss Blyton, you're probably the most popular children's author of all time.
Actually, I describe myself quite simply as an author who happens to write for children.
Of course, forgive me. I wonder if you could tell us, Miss Blyton, what do you think is the secret of your extraordinary success?
Well, it's quite simple, really.
I'm able to enter a child's world, you see. I seem to understand instinctively what it is that children want from a story. They don't want brutality or squalor or violence. No, they want familiarity. They want reassurance. But most of all, they want to escape.
To a magical world of adventure without their parents.
Well, you now have two young girls of your own. How do you juggle the demands of motherhood and writing? How many words is it in a day?
6,000.
Good gracious.
I think Trollope was very similar.
Really?
No, of course one has to juggle. But children need their mothers. Mothers are the heart of any household.
No, I try and spend as much time as I possibly can with my girls, whilst also fulfilling my professional duties.
It's tricky, but I think I manage it.
I'm sure you do. Thank you, Miss Blyton.
Yes, of course. No, I quite understand. Thank you. Goodbye. Enid, I'm afraid I have to go away.
What?
I've been asked to take charge of the Home Guard in Surrey.
Why sorry?
Because that's where they asked me to go, Enid. It's where my old regiment's based.
You could have said no. Why didn't you say no?
Because there's a bloody war on.
Oh, I see. You didn't have the guts to explain to them that you had responsibilities. Did you have a family? So typical you. So utterly thoughtless. So utterly selfish. What about us?
It's not about you.
You can't just walk out on your family.
This is ridiculous. I'm not walking out on anyone. I have a duty to do. You have a house full of staff here. You have Dorothy popping in morning, noon, and night.
Oh, fine. Go on, then. Get out. Go to Surrey. Abandon us. Leave us to fend for ourselves.
Every Friday, the fun is rabbit pie day. The song, run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Bang, 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 goes the farmer's gun.
You?
Your father's left.
You're lying. Daddy would never leave me. He told me I was the most important thing in the world to him.
The little boy who came to live next door was not a very nice little boy. He wouldn't let the children join in any of his games. He was secretive and spoilt, and thought only of himself. So the children decided to punish him. He's rather sweet, isn't he? He is. Now, don't get too attached. If you want to give them names, it should be Bunny Meat Ration 1 and Bunny Meat Ration 2.
But, Mummy, I don't want to eat a rabbit.
We may jolly well have to. Now, pop them back in the hutch, and let's get on with digging for victory, shall we? What are we planting today?
Runner beans, Mummy.
Delicious. And what else?
Well, I thought put carrots and radishes here.
Madam, there's some gentlemen here for you.
Goodness, is that the time? The beans are going to have to wait. Now, no, inside now, girls. No, don't argue. You know how I loathe children who argue.
Oh, please.
Nanny can help you stitch blankets for the troops. That'll be fun. Come on. Come on. Don't sulk, Imogen. Don't sulk. Are they in the drawing room, Maggie?
Yes, madam.
Hello. My husband's still stuck on manoeuvres somewhere in darker Surrey. I'm afraid you'll have to make do with me. Is that too disappointing?
Not at all. It's an honor and a delight.
Oh, good. So relieved. Right. Anyone want a drink? Yeah, like horse.
Well, you made that happen.
Yeah, you can tell a lot by a man's tooth.
Really?
I mean teeth, yes. Dorothy, what a surprise. Goodness.
Sorry, am I interrupting something? I didn't realise you had company.
No. Don't be silly. No. Come in. Come in. Lovely to see you. No, these chaps came to see Hugh. Didn't realise he was in Surrey. Had to make do with me. Do you want a drink?
Right, yes, I'll have a small sherry, thank you.
Jolly. Sit down. This is fun. Weren't they delightful?
Enid, this is not a good idea.
What?
Are you out of your mind? Think of the scandal if it gets out that you're entertaining the troops while Hugh's away. Imagine if he finds out.
Oh, Hugh's having some fandango with some floozy. I'm sure he couldn't care less about what I get up to.
A fandango with a floozy?
An affair. Absolutely sure of it. He's always been the most appalling flirt. Tries to charm every woman he meets. Have you never noticed?
No.
Oh. Well, obviously he wouldn't flirt with you.
Why, obviously?
Well, you know, he respects you too much.
Enid, it's not appropriate. You shouldn't be entertaining soldiers in your house.
Oh, Dorothy. I am left here all on my own. I work very hard for the war effort, and I am bored to tears. What else am I supposed to do?
Well, my sister's getting up a bridge party at the weekend. Why don't you come along?
Because it sounds absolutely frightful. Well, this is fun. The bridge party without the bridge.
Oh, Miss Blyton, I really don't know where Kenneth's got to. I've told him all about you, and he's so looking forward to meeting you. Oh, thank goodness, here he is. You, Kenneth, over here. We're over here with Miss Blyton.
Sorry about that. Woman with indigestion. She thought it was a heart attack. Your bridge salvation has arrived. Of course, I know you two ladies. Kenneth Waters.
Enid.
Blyton. Your fame, if not your bridge prowess, precedes you.
Precedes.
Sorry?
Proceeds money obtained from an event precedes to go before. There are proceeds from my fame, but thus far, none from my bridge playing. I think you'll find the word is precedes.
Oh, good Lord. Popped in for a game of bridge, had my grammar brushed up by an expert. It's obviously my lucky day. No, I should just warn you, this contraption's mighty unreliable, and I do sometimes have problems hearing calls, so I beg your forbearance in advance. I hope that's the right word, is it? Miss Blyton?
Perfect.
Excellent. Oh, shall I? It's quite extraordinary, you know. Normally, I can't hear a word anybody says, but it's all crystal clear. Must be something to do with the timbre of your voice.
Have you always been,
No. I was torpedoed during the war. Still, luckier than many. Shall we take our coffee in the lounge?
Love to.
Excuse us.
It's not actually coffee. It's hot and brown and liquid, and there the similarity ends.
It's not creosote, is it? I do draw the line in creosote. You're not at all how I imagined an author to be, you know. I thought authors were all vague and whiffly with muse, that sort of thing.
Oh, muses are a lot of nonsense. If you want to write, you sit down and write. Do your children read my books?
I don't have any. Always one of them, but no luck, I'm afraid.
And your wife?
Well, the marriage is not, how shall I put this, not a happy one. But tell me about you. Tell me everything. Parents, brothers, sisters, the lot.
Husbands?
Good Lord, how many have you got?
Just the one.
And that's...
Not happy. No.
What I don't understand is, why did you leave home so young?
I suppose after Father left, I couldn't wait to get away. And then I never wanted to go back. Couldn't face any of them.
But what about your mother?
Dead.
Oh, sorry.
You know, for years I thought it was my fault my father left. I thought I must have done something terribly wrong. That I had some sort of black wickedness inside of me. Otherwise, why did he go?
But of course he didn't leave you. He left your mother. Sure, he loved you with every fibre of his being. How could he not?
Gosh. Never talked about this to anyone before. Must be your sympathetic bedside manner.
Not that we're in.
That was a lot more fun than I'd anticipated. And Kenneth, that charming surgeon,
Is married, Enid.
Let's explore the island, yelled Anne, who was now climbing up the rocks. Oh, do come on. Oh, do come on. It was a natural little harbour, sheltered below the high rocks. The water was like glass and had hardly a wrinkle. George felt very happy. She'd often been on our island before, but always alone, except for Tim. She'd always vowed that she never would take anyone there, because it would spoil her island for her. But it hadn't been spoiled. It had been made much nicer.
Girls, come here. Someone I want you to meet. Girls, this is Mummy's friend, Mr. Waters. He's coming to supper. Isn't that marvellous? Well, what do you say?
How do you do?
How do you do?
Maybe not shake hands.
No.
No. Why do you show us what you're up to?
All right.
It's marvellous, isn't it? Digging for victory. Where are you taking me? Just, Kenneth, tell me.
What do you think? I've rented it for 6 months. Just to make sure your reputation remains unsullied, I've rented it under a false name.
What false name?
Well, it just popped out of my mouth. I couldn't help myself.
Kenneth, what false name?
Dorothy Richards.
You did not. That is a terrible thing to do to poor Dorothy.
She'll never know, will she?
Hello, girls. Where's your mother?
She's gone out with Uncle Kenneth.
Who? Uncle Kenneth?
Yes, Mr. Waters, her friend.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I know. Him.
You know him?
Mother mentioned him to me, yeah.
Do you want to come see our rabbit?
All right.
We did have two, but Mummy and Uncle Kenneth ate the other one.
Oh, really? That's a shame.
You? What are you doing here? How did you get in?
Technically, I still live here.
Oh. Well, good, because actually, I think we need to talk. Girls, nursery.
See you shortly, children.
Shut the door, Hugh. Oh, incidentally, I'm sending Gillian away to school. I think it would do her good. Any objections?
Would it make any difference if I had?
Probably not. Sit down here.
Do you never stop?
No, I don't, Hugh. Because I know what works for children. I know what they want, and I know what they need. They want something they can rely on. And I intend to keep on providing that.
I don't know how you get them published. There's no paper.
Ah, got round that. 6 different publishers, 6 different paper rations. Simple.
Only you, Enid, could turn a war into a business opportunity.
That sort of remark, Hugh, is one of the reasons why I want a divorce.
A divorce?
Yes, I want this over. I want the marriage to be over.
On what grounds?
Adultery.
Well, that could be a little bit risky. Do you think your sales would survive the scandal? Enid Blyton takes lover. Imagine that on the front of the News of the World.
Not my adultery, Hugh, yours. I know about the girl you've been seeing. And as you say, the damage to my reputation would be too great.
What about my reputation?
You don't have a reputation, Hugh. Although, sorry, of course you do, as a drunk.
Since I left this house, I've hardly touched a drop. Why do you think that might be?
Really, I don't know. And I don't much care. All I do know is that I cannot...
You are such a hypocrite, Enid. Can you really take the moral high ground with your fans when this is what you're like? The only reason your little fans adore you is because they don't actually know you.
You are beneath contempt.
Your father's left. Your father doesn't want to live with us anymore. He's gone away. Your father has found another woman, Enid.
Here's a little hanky. There you are. Aren't you excited? The first day or two of a new term is always an exciting time. There's a lot of unpacking to be done. And best of all, there were tuck boxes to empty. The twins missed their home and their mother at first, as did most girls. But there was so much to do that there was no time to fret or worry.
Maggie, there's someone on the drive. Can you see who it is?
So sorry to have kept you waiting.
I'm sorry, I don't know where to start. So I'll come straight to the point. I'm Kenneth's wife.
Kenneth?
This is very difficult for me. You could at least try to be honest.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know that you and he... that you're having an affair with my husband.
Sorry, this is ridiculous. I'd like you to leave.
You've been seen together.
Will you keep your voice down? I have a child in the house.
You've been seen with my husband.
Look, I am a public figure. I am seen with a lot of people. Now, what did you say this man's name was?
I know about the house you've rented in Knightsbridge.
Oh, dear. You're clearly terribly upset. Why don't you sit down a moment? Sit here. I'm sure this is all a big mistake. Just get you something to drink. Here. Knock this back, yes? Now, look. How can I help you unravel this appalling muddle, Mrs. Sorry, your name was, Really, I nearly died on the spot. What kind of possessed her?
I don't know how she found out about this place. Thought I'd taken the papers with me when I moved out.
Thank God you put it in Dorothy's name. That's all I can say. I think I managed to convince her.
Oh, Lord. Now she'll think I'm having an affair with Dorothy Richards. Oh, no. I must think I've taken leave of my senses.
That's so cruel.
Apparently, it's common knowledge that I'm having an affair with Kenneth Waters.
You?
We have a love nest in Knightsbridge, apparently.
Where on earth could that have come from?
I can't imagine.
Very peculiar. Anyway, it's lovely that you're here, because I have some news. Can you guess?
I could probably sue for slander.
Don't be absurd.
Oh, don't worry, Enid, I won't.
Of course not. But it's not as if anyone's died, is it? No. My news. Hugh and I are getting a divorce so that Kenneth and I can marry.
Oh, Lord.
Aren't you happy for us?
Won't it create the most awful scandal? And the girls will be devastated.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Gillian's away at school now. And Imogen's... she's too young to understand.
But remember how you felt when your father left.
That was an entirely different kettle of fish. My father and I were kindred spirits. Hugh's been an absolutely useless father. Girls won't miss him at all.
Oh, for goodness sake, Enid, that is absurd. If you want this divorce to go smoothly, you're going to have to take Hugh's feelings into account somewhere along the line.
Of course I'm going to take his feelings into account. Obviously. I'm not a complete monster, Dorothy. Do you want another one, Gillian?
No, thank you.
Want another? How
No,
about you?
thank you.
You must want another one.
No, thank you.
No? Well, I think we must be done then. Get Maggie to, here.
You're having a nice birthday.
Yes, thank you, Daddy.
You come and clear, please.
Are you coming back to live here again?
Well, Well, it's, Imogen, it's...
Children, why don't you, go out and play in the garden? Yes? Go on, Gillian. Don't be silly, Imogen. Daddy's got important work to do for the war. Lucky to have him at all. Think about the poor children whose daddies are fighting far away. Think of the poor children whose daddies are dead even. Now, run along, play with the others. Stop making a fuss, right? Go on. Shoo!
You rang, madam.
Very funny, Hugh. Now, I've been thinking. I realise how much the girls mean to you, so I don't want you to be excluded entirely from their lives.
Oh, I like that, entirely. How jolly decent of you.
I'll give you unlimited access.
Thank you, Lady Bountiful.
If you let me sue you for adultery. We both want to start afresh, so let's get on with it.
And you'll let me see them anytime I like.
Absolutely.
And then it's over. And you won't interfere in my life in any way.
Why would I do such a thing, Hugh?
Because I know you, Enid.
Come along, Hugh. Haven't got all day. Yes or no?
Agreed.
something I have to do first. Enid, will you marry me?
Oh, Hugh. No, I'm sorry, Hugh. I'm afraid she's visiting some little friends. No, no point. She won't be home for hours. No, that's no good either. What about the following week? Yes. Why don't you try that? Absolutely. Yes, of course I will. Yes, I promise. Oh, for heaven's sake, Hugh, I really must dash. Goodbye. Yes, hello. Mr. Hawes, please. Enid Blyton. Yes, I want you to promise me that when the war is over, Hugh Pollock does not come back to his job at Newnes. No, I'm sorry. I really am your most valuable author. Hugh Pollock is no longer part of my life, and I simply cannot have him in the building. I don't think you're quite hearing what I'm saying. If Hugh comes back to Newnes, I'll leave and I'll take my books elsewhere. I'm sure you'll understand where your priorities lie. Good. How very sensible of you. Goodbye.
Your mummy said she just wanted to have a little word with you, so I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
Come in. Oh, there you are. Come in, dear. I've got some wonderful news.
Yes, Mummy?
Sit here, darling. There. Now, Uncle Kenneth and I are going to get married next week. Isn't that marvellous?
I don't know.
Really, Imogen, you can be extraordinarily dense sometimes. Don't you know what this means?
No.
It means you'll have a new father.
But what about my old daddy?
Don't be silly, Imogen. Don't you like Uncle Kenneth? He's been so good to you.
I only want my old daddy.
Yes. Well, you can want and want until you're blue in the face. But your father has joined the war effort in America.
Is that still in England?
No, it's a very, very long way away from here. And he won't be coming back for, a very long time. But don't you see, Imogen, it does give us a chance to start our new lives as a new family. And in this new family, Uncle Kenneth will be father.
No!
I can see you're a little upset. Of course you are. But what do we do when we're upset? We take all the bad things and we put them away, right at the back of our head, until, poof, they disappear. Now, if anybody asks you, you just say that, well, Uncle Kenneth is your father. It'll be our special secret. What do you think? Trust me, Imogen. New beginnings are always marvellous. Now, run along, darling. An absolute pile of work to get through. Upstairs, there's a good girl. There's a special treat. I may read you a story tonight, you lucky girl.
At her famous home, Green Hedges, Enid Blyton enjoys a game of tiddlywinks with her husband Kenneth and their 2 daughters. Watch out, girls. It seems that Mother might be beating you.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Excellent. Tidy up, girls. Father and I are going out to supper.
Certainly are. Come along. Well, it's all right.
Enid?
Yes? Can I help you?
You don't recognize me, do you?
No. Should I?
It's Hanley. Your brother.
Yes. Yes, I know.
You look a bit surprised.
You didn't telephone her. Is something wrong?
Mum's dead. Wouldn't mind a cup of tea.
Yes, of course. How long has it been since we last saw each other?
30 years. Something like that. I hear you're divorced, remarried.
Yes. 6 months ago.
Funeral's next week. I brought your invitation. I would have sent it. Thought it might get lost amongst your fan mail, like my other letters.
Hanley,
Thanks for your support, Enid, over the years.
I've been very, well,
She was ill for over 10 years. Her mind went.
Sorry.
Really? Could have fooled me. You know what I've never got, Enid, is why you cut me and Carey out as well as Mum. What did we ever do to harm you?
It was all her fault. She drove Father away, and then she drove me away.
That is absolute rot, Enid. He was a womanizer. Any bit of skirt...
You have no evidence for that. That sounds like one of Mother's inventions.
You didn't answer my question. What did Carey and I do?
I never wanted to see anything. That reminded me.
Of what?
Everything. Mother. All that strangulated respectability. Father going. I'm sorry, Hanley. My husband, he'll be home soon. He's working terribly hard. He's a surgeon. Anyway, I think it's best that you're not, maybe after the funeral.
You're coming then? I'll go, shall I? This is some place.
Yes.
A bit grander than Beckenham.
Yes. Ah, different world. Different girl.
Hooray, I win.
Dan, I was right behind you.
Poor Imogen was right at the bottom. Actually, darling, yes, 5 o'clock. Time for you to go back to the nursery.
Mummy, who was that man that came this afternoon?
What man?
And he said, Mum's dead. Did he mean your mum?
No idea what you're talking about, Imogen.
But you said your mum was dead. How could she be dead if she just died?
Will you get up and go to bed at once? There will be no supper, and there will be no special hour with Mother and Father tomorrow.
What else are you talking about, Enid? Darling, darling.
She's such a sneak. She is such a sneak. How dare she?
What's she talking about, Enid? What is it, darling? Darling.
My mother, but... My mother has been dead to me since the day I left, don't you understand? And as she actually is, and little Imogen has obviously been spying on me.
Shh, it's all right, it's all right. There, that's it. That's all right, I understand, of course I do. Darling, dry your eyes, it's all right.
She needs to be sent away to school. That's all there is to it.
Well, I couldn't agree more. She's always been different.
We spoiled her, Kenneth. She needs to pull her socks up. Call the school tomorrow.
Right, right. Oh, for goodness sake, if it won't fit in there, put it in the front seat. There's plenty of room.
I'm sorry, sir.
Just gonna move on, we've got a train to catch. Come on, Enid.
Sorry.
In the back, darling.
Imogen, don't be silly. Come on. Open the door, please.
Imogen, let your mother into the car.
I don't want her to come.
Just stay here. I'll take her myself.
In the small hours of this morning, May the 7th, 1945, I saw the formal acknowledgement by Germany's present leaders of their country's complete and utter defeat by land, in the air, and at sea. The final act, General Yodel's signed admission of unconditional surrender.
What is it? Nothing. Darling, something's the matter. What is it?
People are saying that I don't write my own books, Kenneth.
What? Who?
Don't know, some awful man in the paper says that I have a team of people churning them out like a factory. So cruel. So unfair. How can they say these things?
That's ridiculous. I don't know what they're talking about.
Take it away.
Call your agent?
What about?
The newspaper business.
Oh, yes. Yes, he's dealing with it.
Good.
There's, something else.
Hmm?
I'm pregnant.
What?
I'm pregnant.
Oh, my God. Are you sure?
Saw the doctor today.
I did. It's unbelievable. I never thought it would happen.
Neither did I.
Oh, you are amazing.
I'm 47, Kenneth. It's actually quite frightening. What if there's something wrong with it?
I'll look after you. I always do, don't I? You'll be fine. You're the most extraordinary, clever creature. Oh.
They tried to take the burdens from the backs of the 3 children, but they cried out in pain. Don't! Don't! It hurts when you try and pull them away. They can only lose them by going to the land of far beyond, through difficult ways and hard paths. Otherwise, they must carry them for the rest of their lives. And alas, they will grow bigger and bigger, for there is no chance of losing a burden of this kind in the wicked city of turmoil.
Put it here.
Thank you, dear.
What?
I really think I ought to go on.
Oh, don't be silly, Maggie. I'll be absolutely fine. Stop fussing. Now, there's one. Marvellous. Ah, wonderful. Now there's one here.
Madam!
I'm so sorry. I so wanted to have your child. I know how much it meant to you.
You mustn't blame yourself. The most important thing is that you're still here. Don't know what I'd do if anything happened to you.
You'll be fine. I'm as strong as an ox.
That's right. Stay positive.
I'm sorry, darling. Darling, I'm sorry.
It was a boy, Enid.
Oh, no.
No, you must get some rest. Hmm? Just get some sleep. That's right. That's right.
What are you? Are you a toy? Asked Big Ears. I've never seen one quite like you. No, I don't think so, said the strange person, nodding his head. I belong to Old Man Carver in the woods. He made me. What's your name? Asked Big Ears. I haven't got one, said the nodding man. What do you suppose my name ought to be? Noddy, I should think. Ah, look, here he is.
Lovely little chap.
Sweet as that.
All these letters.
Darling, the receipts are fantastic. The show's a huge hit, and they want it back next year. What more could you possibly want?
I want people to stop saying that I don't write my own books, Kenneth. Look at this. It seems to me that it is not possible for one person to produce the number of books that Miss Blyton claims to write. I suggest that you are a liar and a fraud, Miss Blyton. And why are all your working-class characters criminals? Well, at least that one breaks the monotony.
These people are beastly, darling, but you really must try and get over this.
I know. But the more I think about it, the worse it gets. What about my children who read my books? They'll think that I'm a fraud. They'll think that I've let them down. They're saying my life is a lie, Kenneth, and I'm not a liar.
Of course you're not, darling. Of course you're not. Come on.
Are you coming back to live here again? But what about my old daddy?
What did Carrie and I do to offend you?
I don't want her to come.
You can't beat him, join him.
I'm not a bad person.
Of course not. You heard such rot. By the way, you look very pretty in this early morning light.
Now, moving on. Critics do often say of your books...
Really, I
that
don't care about any critic over the age of 12.
Nevertheless, they do suggest that your books are perhaps a little old-fashioned.
Well, I only care about children. And they will always love my books. Because, well, I understand what they want. I know about all the secret places they like to escape to. I don't think that'll ever change. Do you?
I'm sure it won't, Miss Blyton.
Well, that went marvelously. I think you deserve a little drink, darling. What'll you have, G&T? G&T? Gin and tonic.
Oh, no. Yes, please.
All right.
I was just wondering, trying to remember the name of my brother.
Hanley.
Oh, yes. Hanley. How ridiculous. How could I forget that? The other one?
Carrie.
Yes. Carrie.
What about them?
Shall we have that, what was the drink you mentioned?
G&T.
Yes. That sounds delicious. Let's have one of those.
Coming right up. You should take your coat off, darling.
Does the house seem very empty to you, Kenneth? Good night, Secret Island, said the others. And then they slept. And they dreamt of their island. For summer days when they'd go there once more and live merrily and happily all alone, without the grown-ups, in the hot, hot sunshine, winter days in the cozy cave, of cooking over a campfire, and sleeping soundly on heathery beds. Dear Secret Island, only wait, and you shall have the children with you once again. There, the end.
Discover the hidden story of Enid Blyton's dealings with the BBC and hear from the woman herself at the BBC Archive website. Next tonight, there's double comedy kicking off with The Thick of It.